That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? Thunderbolts is nigh. I mean, it is right on top of us now, just a couple of weeks away. Cannot wait. But lest you forget, there's another Marvel movie coming out this year, a little film called Fantastic Four that has already a great theme score. I love the score. I actually love it more and more. Anyway, the good folks over at Entertainment Weekly have just put out a new cover article about the upcoming Fantastic Four, where they put out a bunch of new stills. We're going to look at them. But then they also talk about Galactus being an actual actor in an actual suit, an actual practical costume for Galactus. We're going to read that in a second. First, let's go over to Entertainment Weekly and take a look at some of the images. There's just a cast picture, so that's cool. I'm just going to scroll a bunch of these. They put a little bit of the video in there. That looks great. It's still hard to see him as the dude from Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, right.
From right,
Eddie Munson.
He just does not look like him anymore. Anyway, we continue down. There are more pictures here. I love the color tones here too. The suits are great.
Right out of the 60s.
Then again, a little family moment. By the way, she was perfect to choose as Sue Storm. I've been getting more and more excited for Eben Moss-Bachrach. I think he's going to just kill it in this. Again, more stuff of looking
That's
at
their Fantastic Four suits, space suits.
Is that?
Yeah.
Because the coloring's different. You're right. They got the 4 on there,
and
on the
one's
belts
larger
too.
for the thing.
Yep. Probably when they're going to go out and confront Galactus, I guess.
Like
I don't know.
Look at this silver records.
That's pretty cool.
Those laser discs, my friends.
I was like laser discs, but I think they're supposed to be silver records.
I think you're right. Silver records, metallic records. Again, a little bit more. So look, even's got a little Fantastic Four notebook.
Very corporate.
Another look at Pedro Pascal. I mean, a lot of this is just them. We're not seeing any of them in their superhero game. So, but now let's go over and take a look at where they're talking about Galactus, okay? Franklin in particular, we're going to start a little bit early in this article because this was interesting. Franklin in particular, that's of course of Reed and Sue's son, has long been a subject of fascination for Galactus, the Devourer of Worlds, who does indeed come calling in first steps. Anyway, then he goes on to this. Galactus was introduced, this is where it gets interesting, in a 2-part comic story by Lee and Kirby that remains the high point of their first collaboration. But when he was brought to the screen in 2007's Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, Galactus was in his best form, rendered as a faceless space cloud. By the way, I'm kidding, that was not his best form. A rejection of the comic's colorful origins. In First Steps, Galactus will be portrayed by actor Ralph Ineson from Nosferatu, wearing actual purple and blue armor. The costume workshop on set is full of various attempts at making his signature look work. I didn't want to just use motion capture for Galactus. I wanted to actually have someone there embodying the part, director Shackman says. So we built an entire costume for him, and we've done a lot of photography testing to figure out how do you make sure that the scale is correct? How do you film Mount Rushmore? Now, one of the key comments in there is that he said, we didn't just want it to be digital, right? So I think we're definitely going to see some CGI Galactus. But the very idea that some of it is actually just going to be Ralph in a suit, I never would have guessed that. I never would have guessed that. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Hungryroot. Okay, so I'm sure you guys can all relate to this. Spring hits and suddenly life goes from like 0 to 100. Busy season is officially in full swing over here. And honestly, who's got time to go grocery shopping? That's where Hungryroot comes in. See, because Hungryroot is like having your own personal shopper. I told them my goals and they started curating groceries for me that actually fit my life. Be it smoothies, snacks, salad kits, even ready to eat meals. All clean ingredients, no artificial junk. This week, I got the grilled turkey tenderloin with pesto grilled veggies, and it was amazing. And I got my usual protein-packed snacks. It's like they're learning my taste better than I even know myself. And the best part is, I don't have to waste time driving to the grocery store and wandering the aisles. That's time I can spend doing literally absolutely anything else. Guys, I love Hungryroot. Take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/Campea and use the code Campea. That's hungryroot.com/Campea hungryroot.com/Campea, code Campea to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/Campea, code Campea. Anyway, Rob, you saw the pictures. What do you think of them? And what do you think about Matt Shakman saying, I wanted some of it to actually just be an actor in a suit? How do you see that?
Well, I think, you want an actor to interact with your other characters. Like, how do you... I mean, Galactus is like a dude. He can talk.
He's like,
I hunger, and I think that you have to have some kind of way to interact. I love the fact that they did that. I hope there's some behind the scenes footage on the disc or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing the interactivity of Galactus. But I can understand why Shakman wanted that. I mean, I get that. I want to see it. Like, look, I look at this picture. Who doesn't want to see that? Although Galactus looks to me a bit small.
Of course, he can scale, though.
Yeah, he can get bigger and smaller, maybe. But I'm deliriously excited for this movie. And I think it looks to me like they've really captured a tone. I love what Shakman did with WandaVision. I think that this is going to be a really, really good movie. The one thing I'm not totally sold on Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards yet, but admittedly, we haven't seen much of him, like talking in character.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any of his powers. We haven't seen any of that. But I want to believe. I want a Morgan Freeman this. Shawshank, I hope. I want it to be great. And everything they're showing us looks good. I mean, it does. Look at these costumes. It looks good to me.
Yeah.
And I hope it has that feel to it, and it looks different, and it looks like something we haven't seen in the MCU before. And I'll watch anything with astronauts. Doesn't matter what it is. Like astronauts or ninjas, and preferably ninja astronauts. But I will watch anything that goes. And the fact that they have a spaceship in it that looks like the first spaceship on Venus, I love that. I love it. I love everything about this.
I often have people, whenever I bring up the fact that I am very much looking forward to Fantastic Four. I'm actually more excited for Thunderbolts, but I'm very excited for Fantastic Four. People often will ask me, well, John, there are 4 other Fantastic Four movies, and they're all bad. Like, why do you have any faith in this? Is it just because it's at Marvel? I said, no, like it being at Marvel certainly helps. Marvel has certainly made way more wins than losses. But for me, it still comes down to Matt Shakman. It all comes down to the director for me. This is the guy who kind of helmed WandaVision, which I still think is is the best thing that Marvel has done on television so far. And I just believe it because of that. And so far, what we've seen all looks really good. It's going to be interesting to see how good or bad it turns out.
What this Fantastic Four has that the other Fantastic Fours didn't have?
Pedro Pascal.
Well, not just that, but it has the context of the larger MCU.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't take place in the 616 world, we have over 30 feature films of the kind of thing that we're going to get. Like even the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies, I never believed the characters. Like I'm looking at these actors, I never thought that they totally inhabited the roles. I mean, Michael Chiklis was pretty great as the Thing, but I never felt immersed. And I look at these photographs, they've clearly modeled these photographs on like the early Mercury astronaut photographs of them getting, like John Glenn getting suited up. They've even got the same angles, the same pictures. And I'm like, okay, there's something going on here that has not existed in the previous Fantastic Four films. And that alone makes me excited. I'm excited, man. I'm not going to deny it. I want this movie to be great. Yeah, I really do.
Why am I blanking on the name of the movie? It not Space Cowboys, like going way back. The
Right Stuff.
The Right Stuff.
One of the greatest movies ever made.
So I'm trying to think of the right.
Come on, Warner Brothers. Where's that 4K?
By the way, you
Atmos
did just put a smile on my face by mentioning Space Cowboys.
Yeah.
I love Space Cowboys.
That was my
Space
linear
Cowboys.
path to the Right Stuff.
It like the final shot of Space Cowboys.
They're both Warner Brothers.
With he was the colonel in the first Captain America movie. 3 names.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
I think like that movie ends with just Tommy Lee Jones sitting on the moon looking at Earth.
Just like
probably already dead at that point.
Yeah. Right.
Still, I used to like that movie a lot. And Ray, you're gonna like this.
What?
Matt Shakman, who directed this also to WandaVision. You know what else he directed?
What is that, John?
Monarch. Well, he directed a number of episodes of Monarch. He directed episodes of Succession, of Game of Thrones, American Gothic. I mean, he's just
I'm
really good,
all-
and I can't wait to see what he brings to this movie.
I'm on board with this Fantastic Four film. I love just the whole look of it. Just even the car going down the street. I'm feeling this other world that it's supposed to be in, or
Right.
like a different time it's supposed
Universe,
to be in.
yeah.
It's the one thing I hope for is like the city or the world they're living in to be just as alive as a Matt Reeves Gotham. A
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit,
Yeah, yeah.
sort of that
Different way,
Make
but
me
yeah.
feel like I'm there with them and not just watching like
Sure.
from outside looking in. This,
Yes.
like let me feel like I'm there. I totally love the astronaut suits because they look so flimsy, like they're not going to space. But that's the way
They're
I
not
felt.
suits of armor.
That's
They look
that's
real.
how I felt when I watched us going to the moon. Like that.
Jonathan,
Are you sure those suits are gonna hold?
can you go back one picture?
Yeah.
Of the New York skyline? Look in the foreground. Look at those circular buildings.
Yeah, those buildings there.
You know,
Yeah.
that which I never really noticed before, but that's really cool.
And I'm still gonna go on point and say that music to the trailer
Oh, yeah.
creeps me the hell out. Like it's just like
Oh, when they
it's
debuted
like
it at the Hollywood Bowl, I was sold.
like
Oh,
a dream.
God,
Like it's
I-
like a dream sequence.
I felt Ann and I were there at the home, and when what's the director of Werewolf by Night again? Michael Giacchino.
Yeah.
Michael Giacchino comes out and goes, "We got a little something we want to play for you." This is at the big show there, and they played that Fantastic Four music for the first time, and I'm like, "This is really good."
Yeah.
I don't know if that means the movie's going to be good, but anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about the new images we just saw for Fantastic Four? I mean, none of them in their superhero guys, but still some pretty good ones. And what do you think about the idea that Matt Shackman actually wanted to have a practical suit for Galactus that we're going to see, I guess, intercut with a digital Galactus? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.